Good afternoon and welcome everyone in this our latest webinar in the series Minitab Need to Know. Today we are going to cover a very interesting topic which is called regression in Minitab. My name is Vineet. I'm a principal data scientist here at Square Circle Global. Square Circle is a data science consulting and analytics firm uh, and helping clients since last 7 years. I'm joined by my session host Samir Sotu, who is the founder and CEO of Square Circle Global. So, for all of you who know Minitab, they might know Minitab as a single statistical product which is used for statistical analysis and process excellence projects. But now Minitab has grown into as a solution analytics company. Square Circle is a proud partner for Minitab across Middle East Africa. Minitab has 5 products in their portfolio with a recent new product called as Minitab Connect, which completes the whole solution analytics for and business analytics requirement for companies. So in the suite of products, we have first Minitab, which is a statistical analysis tool. Then we have Salfold Predictive Modeler, which is a machine learning and predictive analytics software. Then we have Workspace to visualize your process maps. We have Companion to track and manage your improvement projects with real-time dashboards. We have Quality Trainer, where you can learn statistical tools and how to do analysis online. And then recently launched Minitab Connect, which is a visualization tool for your data, which helps you to connect several data sources and see your data in real time. On the services side, we help our clients with different kind of trainings, with hands-on training, like with basic Minitab training. We are proud to be a Minitab certified trainer. And if you have any other requirements for Minitab certified training related to statistical quality control, we help with that. We also help our client with any kind of statistical consulting for any of the challenges they are facing for data analysis and interpreting their data. We also help our client with the support services and installation and version updates for various Minitab products. We are fortunate to work with some of the big clients in different sectors here in the region, such as in oil and energy, pharmaceuticals, hospitals and healthcare, chemicals, telecommunication, and many more like mining and metals, government, transportation, financial services, and education sector. So till now in this series, we learned about how to import data in Minitab, how to start your analysis, how to calculate key statistics using summaries, how you can start with your basic macros, how you build your macros, how you can remove your redundant work with macros, how you can conduct hypothesis test, how you can correlate your data, and how you do regression. In our last webinar, we learned about multiple regression. So this is what we have done in this webinar series. Today we are going to learn about one important topic, which is card. Now, uh, we will in this webinar we will learn about we will do a quick card overview. We will look specifically at the regression part of card, and then we will conduct a regression exercise, a card regression exercise in Minitab. We will explore the results and we will see how to select alternating trees. Okay, so quickly, for anybody who is like less familiar with this card thing, to give you an idea how card addresses business challenges, it is more around it is more a part of predictive analytics. So so how does it help with business challenges? So recently, one of our manufacturing clients, which is a small regional consumer and product goods manufacturer, they needed to cut cost by anticipating and reducing machinery downtime. Uh, how does cart help them? It helped them to identify their top drivers of equipment breakdowns and rules that indicate the predictive maintenance to avoid any kind of these unplanned downtimes. This algorithm or this predictive analytics process also applied in our healthcare client, one of our Canadian regional healthcare system that experienced a SARS-CoV outbreak in 2003, where the infection was transmitted from patients to healthcare workers. They needed to prevent the same from happening with the COVID-19 transmission in the last year. So this card it helped them to pinpoint the risk factors of this SARS transmission from patients to healthcare workers and proactively protect the staff through updated protocols. Now, this card can also be used in finance. A multinational finance services firm experienced an unacceptably high rate of credit card defaults. So this algorithm helped the this financial services company with the customer characteristics that were associated with the default and developed profiles which used to anticipate higher risk clients. Then this cart algorithm also helps a commercial bank which was losing customers on an annual rate of like I think 12%, which is very high, leading to a 20% loss of top line revenue. So using this predictive analytics technique, they identified the customers at high risk of churning and then develop a targeted campaign for each customer segment and reduce their year-on-year churn by around 5% and then boosted their profits by 20%. So this is how this card can help you, and this predictive algorithm can help all of us. So just to give you a little bit of introduction about what is CART. Now CART is a modeling technique which is based on recursive partitioning that can be used to predict both continuous and categorical responses. So this is recently added in Minitab version 20 with the predictive models as a menu. So now these kind of predictive models, they offer automatic variable selection, very easy to build in Minitab, and best of all, a model can be visualized as the decision tree. Now decision tree is one of the methods to visualize, if you can see here on the right hand side. So this is how a decision tree looks like. So it's a tree based learning model. It can build both classification and regression models in the form of tree. A tree is simply something which splits your different variables. Now this method is very useful if you have very large data sets, and then typically the multiple regression and other form of regression is difficult or like to run on these, or there is a presence of any kind of non-linear relationship. So there are two types of classic card trees, which are regression trees for continuous responses, and there is a classification trees for categorical responses. Today we will be focusing on regression trees for continuous responses. So here is a little bit on the terminology which card uses. It is the first node is known as the root node. Then there is a splitting which happens, which is known as the splitter, the variable which is used to split. Then there are decision nodes on which this splitting is done below the root node. And then there are terminal nodes or the nodes where the tree is ending. So these are the four important card terminologies. Now, so to give you an example, we'll directly go to a Minitab demo and see how this card algorithm works. Okay. So let me take an example here. We will be taking an example of a healthcare provider that operates a facility that provides substance abuse treatment services. Okay. So maybe this is something like a drug treatment services. So one of the services at the facility is an detoxification program where a regular course of treatment can last from 1 to 30 days. Okay. So now the team responsible for staffing and supplies wants to understand and wants to study whether they can make a prediction about the length or time a patient uses based on the information they collect about the patient. So this healthcare provider, he wants to understand what is the length of a time a patient uses services based on information. They can whether it lasts 1 days or 30 days. So this detoxification program which they are doing, and these variables include demographic information, variables of the patient's substance abuse. So now it has a lot of variables involved, and typically different kind of other regression techniques cannot understand these nonlinear relationships. For such things, CART algorithm is very suitable. So let me just go to my Minitab screen. So here you are on my Minitab. You can see my Minitab screen. Now this is the data which is collected, like age at admission, age at first use, arrest in previous 30 days, very typical data, previous treatment episodes, years of education, and then there are various others like cocaine used, marijuana, heroin. These are all drugs which are used, and this provider gives a treatment services for such kind of drug abuses. So this is the data which is available. Now we are trying to predict the length of the service by the provider. So how we can do it through CART algorithm. So let's start. Let's go to stat. There is a menu, predictive analytics. Here we are going for CART regression. So here we are not trying to classify, but we are trying to predict the length of the service, or it is the continuous variable. So here on the so here you can see there are so many variables. So we need to select the length of the service in the response variable. We are trying to predict the length of the service. In the continuous predictors, we will take from age at admissions. I already know these are the continuous predictors, to the years of education. So just select all of these. Now on the categorical predictors, I know there are categorical predictors from other stimulants use to the TSM diagnosis. Okay, and then select. Okay, so this is the variables which are used. Now click validation and assign rows fold. Now we have used a validation method which is a k-fold cross validation. K-fold cross validation is take this number of samples at one time and then generate tree, and then from this a multiple number of trees are generated to see which one is behaving the best. So this is a kind of k-fold cross validation. So we will use id column fold to do that, and then just click OK and click OK again. So here you can see we have some output given by Minitab. So by default, actually Minitab displays this smallest tree that has an R square value within one standard error, okay, of the tree with the maximum R square value. Okay, so the smallest tree here was, according to Minitab, was having 20 number of nodes, terminal nodes, with an R square value of 0.775. Now this tree has somewhere around actually 21. So this is the 21 number node. So the R square is maximum here at this point. Now before we examine the tree, we need to examine the plot that shows the R square value from the cross validation and the number of terminal nodes. This plot shows a pattern where the R square statistics increases rapidly for the first few nodes, okay, and then you can see it flattens out. Now, because this chart shows that the R square value are relatively stable between trees with about 20 nodes to trees to about 70 nodes, okay, we should look at the performance of some of the even smaller trees that are similar to the trees in the result, okay, and then we should check actually which one of them is like behaving and giving a similar R square value. So let's select an alternate tree here. This is like 20 terminal, and we have a value of 0.775. We will go even less. Here it is 18 terminal. Let's go to 17. Okay. I need to check the values here. Here the R square value. So if we look at this one at terminal 17, we see that the R square value is almost the same. Now, as the number of terminal nodes, so here is the tree, you can see here is the tree which is developed by Minitab. As the number of terminal nodes, okay, here are two terminal nodes, here are two. As the number of terminal node increases, we do not want a large number of terminal nodes, and it increases very quickly with the depth of the tree. So the more terminal nodes and the deeper the tree, it becomes actually difficult to understand the decision rules of the tree. So it is very difficult with the decision rules with a deeper tree. So we try to reduce the number of terminal nodes. So here, that's why we are looking here, and we see that 17 is actually almost equal to giving us the R square value equal to the terminal node which is predicted or displayed by Minitab. Okay, so what we will do, we will first look at the model summary. So let's create a tree with this 17. You can see here optimal it is showing. Okay, here we first look at the model summary and evaluate the performance of the smaller tree. So here you can see that the R square statistics is nearly actually similar to the 21 node tree. So we decide to use the tree with 17 nodes and to explore the relationship between the our response variable and the response values. Okay, now let's go to the chart of relative importance. So this is the relative variable importance chart, and the chart of relative importance of the variable shows that the most important variable here is the alcohol use. Okay, let me just try to make it bigger. Here you can see alcohol use is the most important variable. If the contribution of this top predictor variable alcohol is 100%, then you can compare the other variables to alcohol use to determine the importance. Okay, so thus now you can focus on the other important predictors. Now if you see here the primary substance of abuse, okay, and planned medication therapy, this is about 92%, as important as alcohol use. So, the next one is the heroin use, which is like 55% important as alcohol use, and then the primary ingestion route of subreferral source, which is around 48% as important as alcohol use. So all these results actually it includes all the 33 variables. with positive importance, and then these are the relative rankings which provide information about how many variables to control or monitor for a certain application. Now here you can see there is a steep drop in the relative importance. So it does help us to know that these variables are not important, and these are the variables which you can take decision actually whether to control such variables or you don't want to control such variables. But yes, the top 3 or 4 variables or 5 variables definitely you should be using and trying to control. Okay, so this is how actually we generate a card decision tree model, and we try to take decision based on the node and then split it with different variables. Okay, let me go back to the slide. So now you know. I know this is a very short time to understand such a deep level of decision tree. Here you can see this is the model summary. The training and test statistics, there is not much difference, and that's why we have used it. And this is the summary for the terminal loads when the terminal loads is 21, but we have selected the tree which has terminal loads of 17 because the R square value is almost similar to that. And this is the relative variable importance chart. There are a lot of other outputs, but looking at the time, I think there is a lot more actually in cart which I wanted to tell you. But yes, if you have any queries, you can definitely contact me, or send us an email at futureskills@datatools.me. If you have any queries, any questions, any other methods in predictive analytics which you want to understand, we can help you with that. Just email us at futureskills@datatools.me. We will be more than happy to serve you. This recording will be available, and you will be intimated with an email. So thank you all for giving your time. Just if you have any queries, any questions, kindly send us to at this email address. Thank you for your time. Thanks a lot.